Today I'm going to do CySA Plus exam on UCertify website. I didn't read the chapter, so it will be guessing and asking ChatGPT. Actually, I will be learning during taking this exam. I have 2 hours to finish it. This is my homework assignment, and I decided to record the process. Okay, let's go. I have my ChatGPT open. Tommy, a data analyst in an organization, is assessing the security of several database servers in his data center. During his assessment process, he realized that one of the database was missing a critical Oracle security patch, which, oh, because I cannot check it, right? Yeah, I just have to answer. Okay. During his assessment process, he realized that one of the database was missing a critical Oracle security patch. Which type of situation has Tommy detected in the given scenario? Vulnerability, I would say. It's 120 questions, or how many? No, actually it's 20. Okay, I have time. Answer. I have time to check each question in ChatGPT to make sure I'm doing the right way. Why it's not answering? Look, let me know if this is a correct answer and explain, please. Is it going to work or come on? Huh? No, it's not helpful at all. Let's go. Could you please let me know if this is correct? Yes, vulnerability. Okay, great. I will move chat here. Okay, let's go to the next question. It's only 20 questions. Robert works as a security analyst in an organization. Here, his organization has a bring your own device BYOD policy, and he would like to ensure that devices connected to the network under this policy have current antivirus software. Which technology can best assist Robert in accomplishing the given task in this scenario? I'm not sure. Network. So, network access control tells you. Yes, network access control actually tells you what device can be connected to the network. I didn't read the book yet because my homework is due tomorrow, and I have 4 classes, and I just do homework first before reading. I know I should do otherwise, but I remember what NAC is. Network access control ensures that devices comply with the security policies before being granted network access. For example, NAC can check if antivirus software is selected, is installed, and up to date. If patches are applied, or if certain configurations are enforced. This is exactly what Robert needs in BYOD scenario. Okay, let's go. Barry, a cybersecurity analyst, is participating in a cybersecurity war game exercise. His role is to attempt to break into adversary systems. Which team does Barry belong to? I would say he's in the red team. This question seems easy, but sometimes it may be tricky. Okay, that is correct. Next question. 1. A network analyst is configuring a new device that will be connected to join his organization's wireless network. The wireless network uses 802.1x authentication. Which type of agent must be running on the device to connect to this network? Which type of agent must be running? I would say authenticator. Let's check with chat. Oh. Okay. We have 120 minutes, so we can check each question. This is graded, so... Oh, supplicant. Okay, let's read it again. A network analyst is configuring a new device that will be connected. This wireless network uses authentication. Which type of agent must be running on the device? Yeah, supplicant, authenticator, and the third is server. Authentication server. Okay. Supplicant. Yeah, supplicant. Actually, I was reading about this yesterday, just a small piece on the presentation. Which of the following is an example of operational security control? OPSEC. Security control, network firewall. But I will check. And if not, I'd like to read explanation because it teaches me. Penetration test? No. Operation security control is pen testing? Okay, let's read this. Security controls are grouped into categories. Technical controls, I didn't know that. Implemented via technology. Okay, so firewall is technical. Firewalls, encryption, antivirus software. Operation controls, which are these that they ask for, day-to-day processes and practices carried out by people, security awareness training, incident response, penetration testing. Makes sense now. Management controls, policies, risk assessments, procedures, high-level governance. So, pen testing. Next question. During which phase of a penetration test will a tester obtain written authorization to conduct the test? Of course, planning, but I will double check. Yes, it's planning. So planning is first, pre-engagement. Scope is defined, rules of engagement are set, and most importantly, written authorization, a get-out-of-jail-free card, is obtained before any testing begins. Discovery reconnaissance, gathering information about the target, passive and active. Attack, exploitation, attempting to exploit vulnerabilities to gain access, reporting, documenting findings, impact, and remediation recommendations. Okay, let's go. Question number 7. During the 802.1x authentication process, which protocol does the authenticator use to communicate with the authentication server? Authenticator. Which protocol? Communication protocol. Is this 800 to 11G or radius? I'm confused with this one. Okay, let's go. Oh, radius. So my first answer was correct. Okay, radius, correct. This is the protocol the authenticator uses to talk to the authentication server. Yeah, 802.11g is unrelated to authentication protocols. What was this 802 responsible for though? I will check. What's role of it? I like to know. This is not an authentication protocol. It's a Wi-Fi standard under the IEEE 802.11 family. It defines how wireless devices communicate over Wi-Fi. I knew it has something to do with communication, but I wasn't sure whether is this a protocol. It's a standard. Okay. It provides maximum data rate of 54 megabits. It's backward compatible with 802.11b, which run at 11 megabits per second. In simple terms, 802.1x authentication framework who can join the network. G 802.11g lets your laptop physically connect to the Wi-Fi access point. Okay, so radius. Radius stands for, and what is it in 3 sentences? I like when ChatGPT says short and straightforward, because when it writes like 2 pages, I'm lost. Okay, radius stands for, oh, it has AAA, authentication, authorization, and accounting. Authentication, how much authenticity is in you. How authentic are you? Authenticity, identity. Authorization says about the scope, what can you do. And accounting, it talks about what was accessed, right? Accounting pertains to authentication, who you are. Authorization, what can you do. Okay, accounting, what did you do. Accounting, actions. Okay. Whew. Next question. Which of the following techniques is used to automatically detect and block malicious software that does not match known malware signatures and run, observe, analyze, and code in a safe and isolated environment on a network? Block software Observe, analyze code in a safe and of course sandbox, because sandbox is an isolated environment used by threat analysts, threat intelligence analysts. Sandboxing is correct. Sandboxing runs suspicious files programs in a safe, isolated environment to observe behavior. This is how unknown or zero-day malware can be detected, even if it doesn't match known signatures. The compiling translates compiled code back to source-like form. Translates. Yeah, useful in reverse engineering, but not an automatic malware detection method. However, reverse engineering can be used in hacking as well. Which of the following threat categories requires cybersecurity analysts to consider the capability, intent, and likelihood that the threat will target the organization? Which of the following threat categories requires cybersecurity analysts to consider the capability, intent? I am not sure. Intent, structure, consider capability, likelihood. Accidental environment. I will go with structural. Okay, let's see. Let's see what chat says. B, adversarial. Okay. So, accidental is human error or mistakes, misconfiguration, accidental data deletion. Adversarial, intentional threats from attackers, hackers, insiders, nation states. Here, analysts must consider the capability, intent, and likelihood. Environmental, natural disaster or external events, floods, earthquakes. And structural, failures in resources, hardware failure. Okay, this is hardware, software, bugs, power grid issues, hardware, software. So again, accidental is human error, misconfigurations, accidental deletion of data, adversarial, threat actors, hackers, insiders, nation states. Environmental, floods, earthquakes, power outages. So natural disaster, environmental, and structural is software or hardware or power grid issues. Okay, adversarial. Question number 10. A user is configuring a jump box server from which system administrators will connect their laptops. Which of the following ports should not be open on the server? Remote desktop, right? Secure shell. I will go with remote desktop port, which is 3389. I think so. I'm not sure. As I said, I didn't study. Oh, 20. That's why, because this is telnet. Yeah, at 3389 is remote desktop protocol, so I was right about that. So jump box, they will use a cable and they will just connect physically, so telnet. And it should not be open. Okay. Telnet, insecure protocol that transmits data including passwords in plain text. This port should never be opened on a secure jump box. wait, why telnet they will use? In this assignment, chat is just talking nonsense for now. Probably my prompts are not good enough to be understood by chat. So in the context of your assignment, right, in the context of my assignment, the chat went like outside of the assignment. Question about the jump box. Aha, okay, I got it. So question is only which port should not be open. I understood that reversely. I understood the question which port they will be using to connect the jump box. That's how I understood. So that's why I said like remote. Okay. And the question is only about which port should not be open. I mean, remote desktop protocol should not be open either. But okay. Telnet is still a remote access, but it's unsafe because it lacks encryption. That's why the should not part in the question points to port 23. Okay, question 11. Which type of firewall provides the greatest degree of contextual information and can include information about users and applications in its decision-making process? Which type of firewall provides the greatest degree of contextual information and can include information about users, decision making, stateful inspection? I'm not sure. I will go with NGFW. I will check now. Next generation firewall is correct. Okay, packet firewall. Explanation from the chat. The most basic firewall, so packet firewall is the most basic, only looks at IP address, ports, and protocols. Stateful tracks active connections and makes decisions based on state plus packet info, but not on applications users. Web application firewall protects specifically against web-based attacks, SQL injections, XSS scripting, right? Next generation firewall goes beyond packet and state inspections by adding deep packet inspection, application awareness, and user identity context. It makes decision based on who the user is and what app is being used. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Which of the following objectives is not one of the three main non-repudiation of the three main objectives that information security professionals must achieve to protect their organizations against cybersecurity threats? Availability, it means when the resources must be accessed, it needs to be available. They need to be available. Servers, network must be available to the users whenever needed. Confidentiality, only trusted parties can access the network. Integrity means that data wasn't tampered, altered, modified. Non-repudiation, means that you cannot deny the action you did. It's because it's recorded or saved, or I will just check what does that mean if I would like to explain to someone. Let's see. Means you can prove that someone performed an action. Sender cannot deny having sent a message or transaction. A receiver cannot deny having received it. It is usually achieved through digital signatures, audit logs. Yeah, so the proofs are being recorded through audit logs, encryption with certificates, digital signatures. Okay, I have some basic understanding of this. Which of the following steps occurs first during the attack phase of a penetration test? Attack phase. Browsing the system. I would say gaining access, like just simple logic, but I'm not sure. Let's ask ChatGPT. Yeah, gaining access. Gaining access is first. The attacker pentester exploits a vulnerability to enter the system, first step. Escalating privileges is another next step, second. Once inside, they are trying to gain higher level admin root access, right? Makes sense. Installing additional tools, dropping backdoors, keyloggers, or persistence mechanisms. Dropping backdoors, installing additional tools, keyloggers, persistence mechanisms. Advanced persistent threat. It reminds me of this. Browsing the system, exploring files, data, and resources after gaining and escalating access. So, browsing the system is the last step. Okay, let's go to the next. Rick, a network administrator, is preparing a firewall rule that will allow network traffic from external systems to a web server which is running the HTTPS protocol. Which TCP port must he allow to pass through the firewall? Traffic from external system which is running. There is no other option. HTTPS is always 443 unless you change it. But this is like the basic. Usually it's 443. Port 25. It's simple mail transfer protocol for sending emails. 143 is for IMAP, Internet Message Access Protocol, for retrieving email. I don't remember this. I know this is the correct one for retrieving emails, but it's like not staying in my brain. 143 IMAP for retrieving email. Sometimes when I move my eyeballs from left to right and reverse, I can remember more. And I also try to look at the mirror, small mirror, and when I talk, so I see my lips moving, my eyes. So then my brain is remembering more when I talk to myself loud, when I move my eyes from left to right and I watch my lips. It's like my memory method, memorizing method, right? 443 HTTPS. Okay, next question. Question number 15. Ben works as a cybersecurity analyst, like everyone in this text, in an ABC organization. He is preparing to conduct a cybersecurity risk assessment process for his organization. For the risk assessment, he chooses not he chooses to follow the standard process proposed by NIST. Which of the following steps would be the first step that Ben would perform in the given scenario? Risk assessment, like the music, cybersecurity risk assessment process for his organization. But I need to pause this now. I need to focus because it's sometimes when music is too good, my brain just goes to different direction. First, you have to know the threat, identify vulnerabilities. He's preparing to conduct a cybersecurity risk assessment. I would say he would start with vulnerabilities, then possible threats. No, first vulnerabilities, then impact of risk, or vulnerabilities, likelihood of risk, impact, and then threats. Let's see. Okay. I will change the song. So, Boris Brejcha. That's my favorite DJ. Okay. Oh, identify threats, actually. So, that was my first guess. According to NIST risk management framework, identify threats. What events, actors could cause harm? Hackers, insiders, malware, natural disasters. Second is identify vulnerabilities. But if you don't know vulnerabilities, how can you identify threats? That was my logic I used. What weaknesses exist that threats could exploit? Second, identify vulnerabilities. Third, determine likelihood. How likely is it that a given threat will exploit a vulnerability? How likely given threat will exploit a vulnerability? Threats, vulnerabilities, likelihood, impact. Where's the impact? Okay, impact. And then calculate risk. Risk equals likelihood times impact multiplied by impact. I will take a note of that. It's always good to know. Okay, identify threats first. What events, actors could cause harm? Aha, I think I got it. So first something happens, right? And then the security analyst thinks what caused it? Then what weaknesses exist? Then how likely is it that a given threat will exploit a vulnerability? Would the damage be if the threat succeeds? What would the damage be if the threat succeeds? And then calculate risk. Okay. Let's go to the question number 16. Kevin works. Excuse me. Kevin works as a security analyst in an organization. To protect his organization against SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and similar attacks, he would like to implement a specialized firewall. WAF. Which technology should he choose for the implementation process explained in the given scenario? I will check with chat, but I'm sure with it's WAF. Yes. So WAF, Web Application Firewall, is designed to protect web applications by filtering and monitoring HTTPS traffic. It specifically blocks SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and other OWASP top 10 attacks. Let's see what are OWASP top 10 attacks. Just for my own knowledge and for yours if you're watching. Okay, so OWASP, Open Web Application Security Project. It's a non-profit that publishes top 10 regularly updated list of 10 most critical web application security risks. Top 10. Oh, ChatGPT has data from 2021, and the top 10 attacks in 2021 were broken access control, when users can perform actions outside their intended permission. What about 2025, please? Check. Next one was cryptographic failures, previously sensitive data exposure. Injection. Number 3, attackers inject malicious code. 4, insecure design, security misconfiguration. Number 5. Number 6, vulnerable and outdated components using libraries, frameworks, or software. Identification and authentication failures. Number 7. Number 8, software and data integrity failures. 9, security logging and monitoring failures. 10, server-side request forgery, SSRF. Server-side. Wait a second, the next version. It says there is no other version, so not been released. OWASP confirms it's on track for release in late summer or early fall 2025. OWASP top 10 for LLM applications focused on security risks specific to large language models. Other OWASP top 10 published domain, non-human identities and low-code, no-code security risk, but not the general web app top 10. Okay, it says it's not published yet. Next question, 17. Cindy works as a cybersecurity analyst in an XYZ organization. She conducts a cybersecurity risk assessment and consider the impact of a failure of her city's power grid might have on the organization. Which type of threat is Cindy facing in the given scenario? Not, hold on, cybersecurity, power grid, structural, but I will check, because structural was software, hardware, power grid. Let's see. Yes, the correct answer is structural. Failures of critical infrastructure resources, power grid failure, water supply outage, hardware, water supply outage, environmental, natural disasters, or external. Accidental, human errors, misconfiguration, adversarial, intentional malicious actions, hackers, insiders, cyber criminals. Tom works as an administrator in an organization. He would like to deploy consistent security settings to all of his Windows systems simultaneously. He would like to deploy consistent security settings to all of his Windows systems simultaneously. Which technology can Tom use to achieve this goal in this given scenario? Group policy object, I would say. Intrusion prevention system, host-based domain name system. Group policy object. Let's check with chat, and I would like to read the explanation. Because there is a inheritance, right? Yes, your answer is correct. So the group policy object is a Microsoft Active Directory feature that allows administrators to centrally manage and deploy security settings, configurations, and policies across all Windows systems in a domain. Host-based intrusion prevention systems is similar to IPS detection, intrusion prevention system, but focuses on individual endpoints. Intrusion prevention system monitors, blocks malicious traffic. Prevention, not for configuration. Domain name system used for resolving host names to IP addresses unrelated to pushing security systems. Okay, 19. Vincent works as a security analyst in an organization. He is responding to a security incident that compromised one of his organization's web servers. He is responding to a security incident compromised one of his organization's web servers. He does not believe that attackers modified or stole any information, but they did disrupt access to the organization's website. Which cybersecurity objective did this attack violate in the given scenario? They stole and modified integrity. He is not responding to a security incident that compromised. He is responding. He is. He's not ignoring it. He's not accepting the risk. He does not believe that. But they did disrupt access. Oh, so availability. Which cybersecurity objective? Because if the access is no longer available, it's It's availability. Simple logic, right? It should be, I guess. I assume, I believe, yes. Ensuring systems services are accessible when needed. Okay, question 20. Last question. Paul works as a risk analyst, like everyone in each question. He recently completed a risk assessment and determined that his network was vulnerable to hackers as the network was connecting to open ports on servers. Determined that his network was vulnerable to hackers as the network was connecting to open ports. Okay. He implemented a network firewall to reduce the likelihood of a successful attack. Which risk management strategy did Paul choose to pursue in the given scenario? Mitigation. He mitigated the risk. So he installed a network firewall. Okay, let's see. Yes. Okay. And test, right? That's all. What's my library? Can I click it? Active. Enroll. Open. Oh my god, where is my test? Uh-oh. You have one used. Do you want to continue? Yes, of course. And test. Unattempted? Really? Which one I didn't attempt? Item list. Can I see which one I didn't answer? Last one. I did. I did. Okay, one is incorrect. Which one? Environmental. Failure. Power grid. Really? Huh. Let's see what chat is going to say. So explanation, Cindy is facing environmental threats in the given scenario. Widespread infrastructure failures, such as those affecting the power grid or telecommunications circuits, are considered man-made disasters and fall under the category of environmental threats. Environmental threats occur when natural or man-made disasters occur, which are outside the control of the organization. What chat said. Environmental threats, this include natural disasters. He said natural disasters and man-made widespread infrastructure failures like city-wide power grid or telecom outages. Structural are only internal IT system failures such as hardware crashes, software bugs, or system malfunctions within the organization. Okay. Okay. Thank you for watching. See you next time with UCertify.